The following episode contains language and descriptions of violence and self-harm. It may not be appropriate for all listeners, but it was my life. Discretion is advised. What up, what up? Welcome back. I have a very special treat all the way from Kentucky today. My friend, Mr. Dale Beatty. Funny story how we met. We actually met in Andy Frisella's pool in St. Louis about a month ago. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself, let them know Instagram and stuff, how to follow you, because they're going to want to follow you after this.
Yeah, so my name is Dale Beatty. My Instagram is at Mr. Dale Beatty. I also have a YouTube channel that I started up last year, Dale Beatty Outdoors. TikTok, I believe, is Mr. Dale Beatty, but I'm not really big on TikTok. There's a lot of negativity out there on TikTok.
There we go.
Keep it positive out here with Instagram.
Yeah, I didn't even realize how southern your accent was before when we were in Andy's pool, so this is cool. I love it. We're breaking all the stereotypes here today. I'm not a fan of stereotypes as it is, too. So, and I always like to keep this fresh. I don't even know too much about you other than like the ending part of your story, so I want to get into how it was like for you growing up.
Yeah, so for me growing up, I mean, I grew up in a Christian household, both my parents. Instilled some good values in myself and taught me a lot of life lessons. My dad, he worked at Toyota for 33 years. Wow. And my mom was a stay-at-home mom, so she was always around. But yeah, I mean, stable household, never wanted for anything growing up. And, they gave me and my sister, the best opportunity out here for ourselves. But again, it's on us as individuals to take advantage of those opportunities and learn from those life lessons from when we were younger.
For sure. Cool. So no trouble as a kid. You were obviously into sports a ton?
Yeah, I was into sports. I played baseball growing up, played some golf.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Golf not really is my thing anymore. Neither is baseball, but.
How old are you right now?
34.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're both the Tiger Woods generation.
Oh yeah.
Right, cool.
Yeah.
So did you go to college from high school?
Yeah, I went to Eastern Kentucky University. I got a degree in criminal justice.
Wow.
What
a difference of upbringings that me and you have had. Wow. I'm almost shocked right now. Yeah.
You don't know this either, but I was a corrections officer for a little bit as
well.
No
way.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Cool. I already know what kind of corrections officer you would have been. I could tell them from a mile away whether they're going to be cool or not. You know what I mean? So
I like to think that was pretty cool with them. I mean, I learned a lot from those guys in there. Like they're not bad people. They just make bad choices.
Most of them are. Yeah. I was with dudes that should be in cages for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
But for the generalization, most of them are, and a lot of them just have bad drug problems. They just don't know how to fix that.
Right.
You know?
Right. There was a lot of guys in there for child support, which was pretty crazy as well.
Yeah. Well, Arizona, they'll do that for you out there too.
Yeah.
When we had the old Sheriff Joe.
Yeah.
So damn, college. So then what did you do directly out of college?
Directly out of college, like I said, became a corrections officer, got the criminal justice degree. I thought I wanted to go federal, be a police officer. And I was a corrections officer for maybe like a month and a half. And I didn't like it. Like I hated it. I hated going there. Although the guys in there were cool and everything, but like the other officers, they weren't cool individuals.
Yeah.
So I had worked all through college. I was a server at a restaurant back in Kentucky, and a buddy of mine told me about this opportunity, a company called Total Quality Logistics, freight broker. And like I said, I was a corrections officer for about a month or two, and then I hopped over to TQL to get into sales, become a freight broker, and been there ever since. I've been there for 10 years now.
Wow. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Sales. I'm all about sales. So tell me how that worked out for you. At first.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have any sales experience. I mean, serving really isn't sales experience, but just went in there, fell in love with the culture and the environment, and in sales you make your own paycheck. So the harder your work, the larger your paychecks are going to be. So I really like that aspect, and it always worked growing up. I think I started working when I was like 13, 14.
Okay.
I remember my mom taking me to different jobs and stuff. So I had a good work ethic about myself. And
shout out to your mom and dad. They did a very good job raising. I'm being serious
100%.
Too.
Shout out mom and dad. I know they're going to listen to this.
Yes.
They listen.
If you want to shout out your beautiful wife and whoever
my
else
beautiful
is here
wife.
too,
My beautiful wife
right
Ashley is here with us. My stepdaughter Cassie.
There we go. You guys look like some first Phorm billboards. I love it.
Vacationing in Sedona. Sedona is a special place for us. We'll get into that here in a little bit, though. But where were we at? Corrections officer, school, work.
Yep. So and then how did it go when you went into that to sales right? Did you do very well in sales?
Yeah, hit the ground running, and
because sales will make or break you. So some people can't do it. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I just engulfed myself in it. I took advantage of the opportunity. When they told me that I could make my own paychecks, I'm like, okay,
you literally write your own paychecks.
Right, 100%. So I'm going to work my ass off and get this money while I can.
Okay.
Felt like I was always competing against my sister. She's a pharmacist.
Really?
And so she always made good money. So I was like, I have to do something to to be of equal level or higher.
Is that the only other sibling you got?
That's the only other sibling I have.
Damn, so a pharmacist and then you, right? Dang, your parents really did do it well. Me and my brother didn't finish, neither of us finished at high school. No one in my family did, though. But.
I mean, you learn a lot of good life lessons in college. If I were to go back, like I wouldn't, knowing what I know now, I wouldn't go back.
College isn't what it used to be even 10 or 20 years ago, for sure. All my huge, rich, successful friends, I feel like 99% of them didn't go to college.
Right,
you know what I mean?
That's where I picked up a lot of my bad habits, and that's what.
That's a cool point right there.
Yeah,
I didn't think about that.
That's where it went back to was because I was a good kid growing up, and then you go to college, and then the world is your oyster, and
you have to be an adult like real quick too. Yeah.
So
okay, cool. So so you've been there for 10 years.
10 years.
So how did you get tied up with Phorm then? Were you always into fitness and stuff, or?
So I was into fitness in college. I had a roommate that introduced me to going to the gym and like just taught me a whole bunch of different things about.
Were you always jacked like this?
I got big. But I didn't know the diet.
And for the
piece
people
of
that don't get to see this, I'm 6'4", 250. This dude is jacked. Like
I'm only 5'11", 200.
I hang out with a bunch of big dudes, and I told them I had two people literally call me this morning like, "What the hell is that big ass black dude doing? He is huge."
Yeah, I mean, I learned my way around the gym, and then I didn't know much about the diet piece of it.
Yeah,
in college you're just drinking and partying and eating pizza every single day, Chipotle, things like that. So
it's like me right now at 37.
It's a fun life.
Yeah.
But it's got back into it. Actually, I was into fitness until I got married, met my wife, and got comfortable. And
how long has been married?
5 years September.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 years September. So I was got to look at her for.
The approval was the answer okay?
Right.
I was scared for you. Every time I asked, I was like, please get it right. Please get it right.
But got comfortable, married, and just, worked full-time job. And I was a sales manager at that point, so I had a lot more on my plate. And just stopped taking care of myself physically and mentally as well. I don't think I really ever took care of myself mentally.
Yeah.
So, in school, like, you're forced to read these books, and you're forced to do all these things that don't interest you. You're asked to pick what you want to do for the rest of your life at 18 years old. Like, I don't know what the hell I want to do.
Right.
Like, I'm here because my parents told me I got to come.
Yeah.
I'm here to. I don't know why I'm here, but.
Anyways, there was some spark that got you back into the fitness thing again?
Yeah, so
but you were already tied to Phorm before this happened, right?
No. So in 2019, Andy. So I've been listening to Andy Frisella since 2015.
There's about 7 podcasts. And shout out to Andy Frisella as always.
Yeah. Found him on SoundCloud back in 2015, and like his energy was just captivating. Like, and he's just very real and raw with.
He's the one that got me into wanting to do podcasts. Yeah. I would listen to his podcast and I do cardio. I felt like I was just running through a wall.
It's amazing. It's amazing how he can make you feel, and you can get that connection with him through a podcast. You never meet the guy before, but I think it was 2019 is when he came out with 75 Hard, and I was in a spot. I was a spot in my life where mentally I didn't have it all together, physically I didn't have it all together, spiritually I didn't have it all together. And I knew there had to be some sort of change out there. Like, I was tired of just simply going through the motions of life.
I love this because people, like, no matter what, I always try to prove that point. No matter who it is, people have struggles.
Yeah, 100%. You know what I'm saying? 100%.
So hearing how your upbringing, I was like, you didn't have no struggles, but you still get it, no matter who it is.
It doesn't matter who you are. You have some internal demons that you're battling. Every single one of us does, and it's about recognizing those demons inside of you and making a decision, making a choice to change that. So I tried 75 Hard back in 2019. I made it, I think it was like 13 or 15 days, somewhere around there.
What was the hardest part of that for you?
The whole thing.
Okay. See, me, I could do it. It's just the diet. Like, the working out, everything's fine except the diet for me. I know I would break. He said it
was a whole thing. I mean, because it's like, the way I was going about it was just completely wrong. I didn't have like the intent behind it. Like, I hadn't hit rock bottom mentally in 2019.
The intent's all of it, yeah.
The intent. I didn't have that behind it. I was still, I was drinking, at the time, I'm drinking 7 nights a week. I'm getting blackout on a random Tuesday, Wednesday night, and going into work the next day just super hungover, super unproductive. And
no fun doing that, huh?
Man, and I just going through the motions of life. And I remember, I think it was actually in 2020 when I started questioning. I was just like, this can't be it. Because if this is it, like, man, I don't want to do this.
Refund of this shit.
Yeah. Give me my money back. Give me my take me back to the no bills days, you know.
Sure.
But I didn't want to do life anymore. And it was January 5th, 2021, when I started 75 Hard the second time.
Okay.
Remember, I got home from work January 4th, and again, just normal day. And I get home, look at myself in the mirror, of course unhappy, just like, man, like this can't be it. And told my wife, I was like, I'm starting 75 Hard tomorrow. She's like, okay. And I went in the closet, set out my clothes to do my first workout that morning. And I'm grateful for that individual on January 5th on taking that first step and then taking the next step the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after that. Because I needed 75 Hard to turn my life around, to get myself back to the version that I knew I had inside myself.
God, they always talk about that. And this is literally a point of 75 Hard changing someone's life.
Yeah.
You know, that's what Andy always preaches all that stuff, and you think it's not kind of cliche. I'm like, it's good for you, but it's not going to change your life.
Yeah.
Like, this is an instance where
you hear all this from 75 Hard. You get, discipline, self-esteem, perseverance, grit, like all these wonderful things. And I mean, I didn't have any. I did a good job of wearing like masks of being happy, of I didn't have a drinking problem, mask of just all the various masks that we wear in everyday life. And I was really good at wearing those masks and hiding it from, not only from myself, but from my family and from my friends as well. It was just, eating away at me. And I'm forever grateful to this day for Andy coming out with that program for 75 Hard, because what you take away from it is so much more. And that other side of 75 Hard, that other version of yourself, man, there's so much, so cliche, but there's so much discipline and freedom that, or freedom and discipline that it's unbelievable. Discipline truly is freedom.
Crazy how quick, like, first one blew up, but it's like, I try to tell people, like, you can't even explain it, like, it's just, it's way more than a supplement company, and like, Andy Vasella is like way more than like, has a dope podcast,
right.
Every single aspect of it, you know what I'm saying? And just the fact that how much they care and how much, like, you can get every single employee to buy into the same thing, it's just unheard of. And I can't say enough about that company always.
No,
so
not
crazy
at
thinking
all.
that.
Not at all. I mean, they've been nothing but a blessing ever since, January 5th, 2021. It was actually, 2 days into 75 Hard.
And you're not with First Phorm at all, right? You're just doing 75 Hard?
I was just doing 75 Hard. And
was she with First Phorm or anything, or no?
No, she wasn't with First Phorm or
anything. She looks like a
anything.
First Phorm model. That's why I was asking.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah, she's hot. Smoke show. Yeah, she's a 10. She's a 12.
Yeah,
she's 12. But 2 days into 75 Hard, obviously one piece of 75 Hard is sticking to a diet. Mm-hmm. For those who don't know what 75 Hard is, I'll just explain it real quick. It's 2 45-minute workouts.
People can do this in prison, pretty much.
Yeah, you can do this. You can do it anywhere.
Because this podcast is in all the tablets in every prison across the country, so you're speaking directly to inmates and stuff too. So you guys want to have a fun workout that you don't need weights to do, get it.
100%.
So tell them how it goes.
Yeah, 2 45-minute workouts a day. One indoor, one must be outdoor. No matter the conditions. I remember doing one of he says, in his podcast, like, don't be a dumbass and go out in the middle of a storm. But one time it just timed up, it started storming on me and lightning and thundering. And honestly, it was one of my best outdoor workouts that I had. It's pretty cool. But yeah, 2 45-minute workouts a day, drink a gallon of water a day, take a progress picture every day, read 10 pages of a self-development nonfiction book, stick to a diet, no cheat meals, no alcohol for 75 days. If you fail one day, go back to day one, start all over again. So 75 days straight of doing that. But yeah, 2 days into 75 Hard. So the diet piece, I wanted to, in my mind, like I already made up, like I want to do keto. I don't know why I chose that, because it's very difficult. Mm-hmm. But again, I think it's, society, like, all these diets are supposed to have a name. Like a diet, it's not supposed to have a name. A diet is whatever works for yourself, whatever is sustainable.
And sticking to something.
And sticking to something. So, but anyways, I knew I wanted to do keto. So I had used the MyFitnessPal app before in the past and tried it out, like just didn't like it. I was like, you know what? I'm doing 75 Hard. I want to give Andy some support. I knew he was the CEO of First Phorm. I was like, let me just hop on here and see if they even have an app. I didn't know they had an app. So go to the App Store, First Phorm app. I was like, oh, sweet, cool. Wow. Download this. And same day, they came out with the New Year Transformation Challenge. And I was just like, well, I might as well enter this New Year Transformation Challenge. So the New Year Transformation Challenge is 8 weeks long, 56 days. I was like, well, this will help me hold the diet piece of it, myself accountable for 56 days. Let me download this. Let me hop into this Transformation Challenge. And that's it. Well, I'm going to use this to track my food. Like, care about the challenge itself.
Sure.
Like, I'm just going to do me. I'm doing 75 hard. I want the discipline. I want the self-esteem back. I want to feel good about myself.
You seem pretty disciplined too. And did you have confidence he was going to do the 75 hard the second time, or were you kind of thinking like, we'll see?
Better hope the second time.
Okay.
Better hope the second time.
Yeah. I'm just curious because you seem like a dude that's really disciplined. So if you put your mind to something, you're going to do it. But again, most people aren't always like that, and I didn't used to always be like that either.
I think that's something new that I've come into about myself. Like I said before, I think I was good at wearing those masks of possibly having some discipline in my life, but really I didn't. I was just I was again going through the motions.
For sure.
Good at hiding it. Entered in the transformation challenge, and again, I'm so laser focused on getting to the end of 75 hard and getting what I want out of the program. And so the transformation challenge ends before 75 hard is actually over. And I remember submitting my pictures, and you write an essay in about like your journey and all that sort of stuff. And I put in there that this new version of myself burned some old bridges of those old habits, those old ways that I was stuck in. And just threw that in there, and the pictures kind of speak for itself. During the challenge alone, I lost a little over 30 pounds.
Wow.
In 56 days. And I ended up getting runner-up in that New Year Transformation Challenge and winning $10,000.
Wow, okay.
First place pays out $50,000.
Who won?
Mary Wolf. She actually works
Mary
at First
Wolf?
Phorm.
Wow, I know her.
She works
I
at
met her
First
at
Phorm
the
now.
Summer Smash.
Super cool.
Wow, that's dope. She won
there was
that.
actually the first time in company history, there was actually 3 of us that they couldn't decide who was going to win.
Really?
So there was Mary, the winner, overall winner, and then there was 2 runner-ups for the first time ever, myself and another guy named Buck down in Texas.
Wow, that's cool.
And it was just super cool. And from that point, I'm still in 75 hard. So actually, I didn't find out about winning the Transformation Challenge until we came to Sedona last year for a vacation to kind of like celebrate the end of 75 hard. Like, it's a huge accomplishment,
sure.
if you do 75 hard the right way. So we're like, let's go celebrate out in Sedona. We've never been out here, heard about, the energy and all that of Sedona itself. So came out here, and first day of the trip, First Phorm is amazing at what they do because they don't give you any sort of heads up, no notice, no nothing. You find out how everyone else finds out. You don't get like a text message on the side or a phone call or anything.
That's how Summer Smash was. I'm like, day before the event, I'm like, dude, what? I don't even know when to get a flight for it. And then Jared's like, just Thursday. I'm like, no one can tell me anything about what's going on. They don't.
They keep it secretive, keep it a surprise for you. So, so get to see the email, and it says, and the transformation winner is. Click on the email, start watching the video, and they show Mary, and they're like, Sal was like, first time in company history, there have been 2 runner-ups. And they show Buck's name, and I was like, man, I got an awesome transformation. And then they show my name, then I break down in tears. I just couldn't believe it. Because again, I didn't go into the challenge with the intent on winning this thing. Again, it was the intent of getting some discipline in my life, getting some self-esteem.
Your life back on track.
Getting it back on track, getting my mental right. And and it's just, it was kind of like, again, discipline opens doors that weren't previously there before. Finish off the rest of 2021 and do phase 1 of 75 hard, phase 2 of 75 hard. I didn't do phase 3 because I forgot what my anniversary day was. Phase 3, you're supposed to do the last 30 days leading up to your anniversary of 75 hard. But I wasn't able to complete that. But it was just kind of a snowball effect from there after winning that transformation challenge. So what they do is they fly you out to their headquarters, and you've been out there to their headquarters, just, the gym itself, the energy in that building, the people in that building, it's crazy being around. It really is. Like, I remember leaving there and like being at the airport, and I'm like crying again because I don't want to leave because there's just like, the people are so real and so good and genuine.
Every single one of them, and it's crazy. It's like, and they're so genuine there. Like, it's like, when people are like really nice, but you're like, this dude wants something in return from me. But it's like, none of them want anything in return, and they are that.
No, not at all. I mean, they truly want you to be that better version of yourself.
Literally, every single one.
That you necessarily don't know that's inside of you, and they pull that out of you. So go out there, obviously fall in love with First Phorm and what they stand for.
How was that trip when they flew you out there?
It was awesome.
Unreal.
I mean, that was the first time meeting Andy as well.
Yeah.
And like, since listening to him from 2015, like, I never thought that I would have been able to meet him.
Yeah.
And then to like be at Summer Smash and go to the pool party afterwards
Yeah.
and like be at his house and be in the pool, like surreal moment.
I don't fangirl out for nobody. You know, like I have athlete friends, a ton of people, bro, and that's why I even told Andy that myself. I'm like, bro, I don't fangirl out for nobody except you. So I'm a little like, holy shit, this is Andy Frisella, you know?
Yeah. So I remember actually the first time I met him, he was their locker room in there. And sweet locker room, super dope locker room.
Like how many Instagram stories have you seen from that locker room? Now you're like, holy shit, this is the locker room.
Yeah, it's the locker room. And I go back in there, like grab some stuff because I think we're heading out for the day. And Andy's just sitting back in one of those chairs. And I just turn the corner, I see him, I was like, holy shit. It's like Andy, and I like had this whole thing in my mind like made up like what I'm gonna say, like, you know, I'm not gonna fangirl on him.
For sure.
Of course I went to shit as soon as I saw him. Oh my god, Andy! Yeah. Went to shit as soon as I saw him, but I mean just super cool, like just as real as he is on the podcast. Like, he's the same guy in person, like nothing different.
You can tell within 30 seconds that I'm like, Dad, he's just the truth, bro. Everything he says is real too.
Straight up the truth. So meeting him for the first time and, you know, the culture and the environment out there. And, you know, I joined their Legionnaire program shortly afterwards, where I was able to help out other people through the first format.
So you joined Legionnaire after winning the challenge?
After winning the challenge,
Dang, you had a really fast rise through first form then.
Yeah,
that's the fastest I've ever heard of.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'm trying to beat you, but
I wanted to, I wanted to give back as much as possible. I mean, first form gave so much to myself, and I learned a lot through the process that I wanted to pass that off to other individuals. Like, you don't have to use 75 hard to, you know, to lose weight, but, you know, as far as losing weight and like getting that next version of yourself, that better version of yourself, that mentality, the mental part of it is so important. So although I don't, you know, advise all my people to do 75 hard, it's a great tool and it's a great resource though to really do more than just lose some weight. Like you're not going to be the same person at all
for sure
at the end of it. So and like the reading and, you know, all that water intake, all that sort of good stuff. But so joined the Legionnaire program and helped out some other people around the country, helped out some friends and family as well. And again, I heard about the elite athlete position at first when I first went out there. Like I remember like looking at their website, like seeing like their elite athletes on the website. I was like, man, that's pretty cool. And then going out there, they're like up on the billboards, the posters, and advertising, all that. And I was like, man, that's like super cool. Like,
right?
Yeah. I was like, I want to do that. And I told them out there in an interview, because you do some, you know, a couple different interviews out there. And I told them in an interview, I was like, I'm gonna be your next elite athlete. They're like, well, you know, there's never been a Transformation Challenge winner to be an elite athlete. I was like, that's all I need to hear.
That's what I want to hear.
Say less. Say less. So, just stuck with, you know, really embodied first form core values. My favorite favorite two, I would say, be disciplined and then leading from the front. Because again, discipline equals freedom, and then that leading from the front with your own actions. You know, don't just talk a big game. You know, actually follow through and be about it. So,
for sure.
You know, really embodied those two core values that stuck closely to myself and all the other ones, and then was awarded Elite Athlete Phorm earlier this year, which was just another.
How'd they tell you won that?
Man, same way. I mean, just no email, no nothing,
Really?
no nothing. We were sitting at home cooking dinner. I was making some crappie, and
Do you cook?
I cook fish and breakfast, and we have a smoker, so I do that. But she handles everything else.
Nice.
Like during 75 hard, like I was taking under 50 grams of carbs a day. Was it 50 or 30? It was 50 grams of carbs a day. Okay. She was my cook for that whole entire thing. So wouldn't have been able to do this without her. So.
Another shout out to the wife. Right
Thank
there.
you. Thank you, babe. Just sitting there cooking dinner, and I get a phone call from one of the guys at First Form, but I'm like cooking. I was like, I'll call him back after I'm done cooking. And then he shoots me a text message. He's like, congrats, bro. You deserved it. You earned it. I was like, what is he talking about? And I hop on Instagram.
Because elite athlete, you don't apply for it either.
You apply for it, but again, like, I mean, I applied for it and like,
was it like
I think
the
like a
next
solid
Elite
like
Athlete Challenge?
year like passed. Like it wasn't like a quick thing.
Wow,
like
okay.
I wouldn't say like quite a year, but like 10 months or so had passed. And I just forgot about it.
Yeah.
I was just doing me at that point. You know, I was just truly making this a lifestyle. And I open up Instagram and I have a DM from another one of the elite athletes, and I click on the video, and it's Sal announcing who the next elite athletes are. And I'm sitting there watching the video, and they announce Alexa Watson, true badass, Shout out Alexa.
Yeah.
She had won Elite Athlete, and then they say my name. And
You're like,
I was like, what? Like, how? Why? Why me? Like, is this real? Like, I watched that video probably at least 15, 20 times. I was like, is this like, what's going on? And
you're like, is there another Dale Beatty or something?
Yeah. I mean, that's my picture right there. But like, are we sure that's me? And I mean, again, just another moment, another nugget, just more tears just rolling down my face of just like, you know, if you stick with something, if you don't, everyone says that if you don't quit, you just don't quit. Like, you will get that reward. You will get that prize at the end. And I mean, it's crazy how many people give up on their goals and quit on their dreams before they actually get to them. And it could be just inches away.
You could be that close.
You'd be that close.
For sure.
And
dude, I almost did it a few times. I'm no joke.
I've done it before. I've been
Yeah.
guilty of it. You know, previously to all this, like, that was me. Like, I have all these things I want to do, all these things in my mind that I want to do, and just don't follow through or don't stick with it. I just quit on myself, and, you know, that's not going to get me anywhere. So don't ever quit. Don't ever quit. As long as it's positive, don't ever quit. Don't give up on yourself. So
Absolutely.
But yeah, one Elite Athlete, and that was just, I mean, again, it was spectacular. And, you know, go out there for athlete weekend and, you know, meet all the other athletes.
Now
and
you got one of those lockers.
Got one of the lockers, which is just.
Who's your locker by?
It's by Big Ty.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's
You know what's
absolute
crazy?
beast.
I had followed a lot of the first people that all had followed me before except Big Ty, and he was like, you know, one of those, you can tell when your stuff's locked and they're like unfiltered ones, because he had never saw any of my stuff, so I was stoked to see that flow out there too.
Yeah,
And
Big Ty, he's super cool.
beast. Yeah,
he's a beast.
yeah.
He's
Shout out to Big Ty,
beast.
dude.
But
He make you and me look small.
Yeah, he does. He really does. He really does. But became first Phorm Elite Athlete earlier this year, and again, just still sticking with those positive habits, sticking with those positive character traits that I've built up over the past year and a half. And you know, one big thing for myself is always tell myself this: it's you versus you. You know, every single day. You know, I'm not competing against anybody else out there. I'm only competing against myself. I'm competing with the version of myself that I had yesterday. I want to be better than a person yesterday, today. So, because I can only focus on today. I can't focus on any other day because we're not promised. You know, we're not promised tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. That's a recovery saying, one day at a time. It seems cliche, but it's the truth.
Right.
Too, you know what
It's
I'm saying?
the
Like,
truth.
why stress about tomorrow? You don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow.
Right. So, you know, during that process of 75 hard and doing the phases and all that, it was, you know, of course, like, previously to 75 hard, like I said, I was drinking, you know, 7 nights a week, getting blackout a couple nights a week, and just not having control of me drinking. I don't know. I was probably borderline alcoholic. You know, I didn't ever go to drunk work, but definitely hungover and like not my normal self. But through 75,
Or my buddies, because I had that problem too. I was like, I'm a drug addict. I'm not really an alcoholic. I like to party and stuff. And they're like, okay, then don't party one weekend. You know, like wait till nighttime and just have a few drinks. I'm like, no. All right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But again, that kind of goes back to like college, like learning those bad habits. Like, because, you know, you start, well, hell, you know, most kids start drinking like 18, 19, you know, some even younger these days. And it's just like, that's not the route you want to go down. That's not the path you want to go down.
For sure.
You know, I've been down it. You've been down it yourself. Like, it's not fun. It doesn't lead to anything positive at all. I could not think of a single win. I couldn't think of a single victory I had while drinking. Now that I'm sober, buddy, I'm doing nothing but winning.
Stack them up every day,
Every single day I'm winning. So
and that's another thing that I wanted to get into too, which is I would argue, and I don't even know too much, but it's got to be the coolest part of what's been going on in your life that's really good is you are sober now too.
Sober,
as well.
yeah.
So I want to talk about that for a while now too, and just all the benefits you see of it and how tough it was for you at first, and what made you get sober at first. Because there's a lot of people that are listening to this right now and they're having the same exact thoughts as you.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm an alcoholic, but I keep getting in trouble with alcohol, and like, why not? And it's like, here's what I always tell them. If you're not an alcoholic, then it shouldn't be that big of a deal not to drink. Just don't do it then.
Yeah.
Because the normal alcoholic, they don't worry about it, because if there's trouble and they're not an addict, it's not going to happen to them. You know what I'm saying? The reason you're pushing the limit and thinking and trying to justify in your head so many times is probably because you are an alcoholic. If not, you don't try and justify it to yourself. You could just stop.
Right. 100%.
So how'd you get into that? Because it's going to help a lot of people here.
How I got into getting sober?
Yeah.
It was 75 hard.
Okay.
I mean, that was the first step of it. Did
you have thoughts before that I might be an alcoholic, and were you thinking this might be perfect for me because I'll stop drinking for 75 days, do all this, and then we'll figure it out again? Was that
100%,
your mindset? Okay.
100%. Cool. 100%. I knew going into it, I was like, I know I shouldn't be drinking this much, and of course having that internal battle with myself. Am I alcoholic? Am I not alcoholic?
Yeah.
And then making that emotional connection and once you get 2 days in of just being sober and not drinking, you start reflecting on all the previous days and times that you had on alcohol, how much money, how much time, how much shit you didn't get done because you just wasted away, being the Sunday scaries.
The whole weekend,
the whole
Dude,
week,
I'm serious. When I got out of prison after a year, and that's all they did, and we do Sunday Funday. And I remember I'm about a year out of prison, and I've been partying out 5 or 6 days a week because that was like college for me. And I remember sitting at the bar one day, and I was like, "Is this all? This is all this? This is all this? This is all this?"
I remember also too
you
thinking
guys
too,
literally been doing this for 12 years.
I was also too just thinking even when you're out and drunk and you're just am I gonna do this for the rest of my life?
Seriously,
when am I gonna get out of the bars? When am I gonna grow up? And you think that you're just gonna snap out of it, but you're not unless you really want to.
You have to make yourself.
Someone no one's going to do the work for you. You have to put in all the work yourself.
Yes.
No one is going to come tell you hey, Dale, you need to stop drinking. People are going to suggest it.
Yeah.
Your friends and family that truly care about you, they're going to be hey, I think you have a drinking problem. I think you need to stop drinking. But no one is actually going to do that for you.
And I love this because, like I said, I got a lot of addicts on here, and all of us, we know we can't drink. I love the fact that you still don't even know if you are an alcoholic and who even cares, but at least stopping drinking and then how many benefits it's given you that you've kept it going.
Right.
Right?
So with 75 hard, it started, obviously you start getting those wins and those victories for being sober for a short amount of time in. And you don't want to lose that momentum. You don't want to lose that. You don't want to go back to that old lifestyle. You don't want to go back to that old way. And that, having that emotional connection of all the losses, all the times you got in trouble, all the hurt and all that, you make that emotional connection. You can use that as motivation moving forward for yourself to not go back to that old ways, because you're going to, on the other side of being sober, you're going to get nothing but victories. You're going to have nothing but wins. You're going to wake up fresh. You're going to go to bed fresh. There's a new lease on life.
Just waking up fresh is worth so much money to me. Seriously.
It's unbelievable. And then being a water connoisseur now. So from 75 hard, you drink that gallon of water a day, and a lot of people, a lot of us as humans, we don't get enough water as it is. Mm-hmm. So I still, obviously I'm on vacation this week. I'm not doing a gallon a day every day right now in this heat, but when I'm back at home, I'm on my regimen and my routine. I'm drinking a gallon of water a day. To this day still, that's something I'm very strict about. And then also reading as well for my mind, 10 pages a day during 75 hard. I still do 10 pages a day now, or if I'm caught up in a book, I'm doing a whole chapter right then and there. So a lot of it, going back to the sobriety and all that, but it's your mindset when it comes to it. Don't talk yourself into that negative person that you are.
For sure.
Have those positive thoughts come through.
Yeah. And because we were talking about this downstairs.
Yeah.
We all have the same shit. I still think I'm dude, I'm gonna suck it up on this podcast this week. There's no way I can do this. How can I do this? And John Malott said the same thing. We all have them. You all have it, but it's winning the mental battles that we all go through with daily.
Yeah.
So when you're doing the 75 hard now, are you thinking once the 75 hard's over, you're done drinking, or did it just kind of click that way?
It kind of.
Or let me guess. Did you see so much positives that you're why would I go back to drinking?
Well, no. I had some time between 75 hard and phase 1.
Okay.
Where actually, I think I didn't have my first drink until I came out here. So there's probably.
Damn, so Arizona.
From 75 hard to getting out here. Yeah, right? That's it. I think it was 25 days that I stayed sober after 75 hard before coming out here.
Okay.
And then I had my first drink at a restaurant in Sedona. It was we were talking about it last night. It was a blueberry margarita or something like that.
Okay.
I mean, it was delicious, but again, I had that one drink and got a hard buzz off of it, and I didn't want to take that first sip. It was weird. I had that internal battle with myself. I was well, I'm not on any programs, and I've done rationalizing to myself why I've earned this drink or this, I've earned it. I've done the work, but I felt guilty taking that first drink. And then, that's the only drink I had at dinner. And I think I might have had another drink maybe that weekend. But then we go into Summer Smash, and then I think all weekend of Summer Smash, that first one I went to, I think I had like 3 or 4 drinks that whole entire weekend. And it was after the Summer Smash, we were driving back from St. Louis, and I told my wife, I was like, you know what, I think I'm done drinking forever.
Really?
Yeah. And she was like, well, you can do it. I was like, well, yeah, you're right, I can do it. So June 30th last year, made a commitment to myself to never drink alcohol again, and
Well,
just
a month
celebrated.
after, as long as we keep each other on track. I'm July 30th.
There you are.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, just celebrated my year. You celebrated 5.
I'm celebrating 6 years. This month. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And what's funny is I had not funny, excuse me, but my sobriety date was from I don't even know if you know this part about my story.
No.
But I was always trying to justify the alcoholic stuff. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't drink by myself. Like, I just like to party. I've never ever drank alone. Like, I didn't do that stuff.
Yeah.
But my thing is, when I drink, like, I get the efforts and I say yes to anything. And I literally just had a birthday party at the bar, blacked out one day, and I don't know, one of my old prison dudes hit me up, and I went and left and got high and overdosed and died.
Okay, I heard that on your podcast.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And that was my one. So my brother's birthday is July 29th, and my funeral would have been on his birthday weekend for the rest of his life. But yeah, so that was my thing. Like. And then I finally told myself in the hospital, I'm like, how long am I going to try and justify the fact that I don't think I'm an alcoholic? And like, but how many more risks and fires do you have to play with? And it just shows that like normal people don't think about that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to risk it if they're not. And I did. So clearly I was an alcoholic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, but sobriety is cool.
Yes.
It's fun.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun.
Was it tough for you at first?
Yeah, it was tough at first.
Okay. The toughest thing is probably just getting the routine, right? Because it's weird. I feel like your whole lifestyle changes, and then it's like kind of weird when you go out and you're like, oh, I don't drink now. What am I drinking?
Friends change too.
Yes.
That's a tough part of it. You'd have to break off those toxic relationships that those individuals that always want you to have a drink or, but you have to obviously you have to break off those negative connections that you have with friends to not influence you to go back to your old ways. But you still have to place yourself in those scenarios to be mentally strong enough to make it through. For sure. Like, I have no issue going to a bar now and ordering a water. I have no issue going to, like, the lake for me was a big one, drinking at the lake.
I like doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. So putting yourself in those scenarios and, being tougher than most by saying that ability to say no. Yeah. I think that's what it really gives you.
For sure.
That ability
and then you'll
to
notice
say
that
no.
a lot of the people too, once they're drunk, I always notice they always want to have heart-to-hearts with me. And then they're just like, how do you do it? And then you realize that half of those people want to quit drinking. They just don't even think they can, and they don't know how to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And their true thoughts come out when they're all drunk, and that's when they're trying to get advice on it.
Yeah, yeah. And they don't remember the next day, unfortunately. But I'm here for you when you're sober and you want to make that change, though. I'll talk with you.
Absolutely.
I'd love to. But again, I mean, it comes down to a choice. It comes down to a decision. How bad.
So you're not in recovery though, huh? You just cold turkey did
just
it?
Cold turkey did it.
Okay, cool. And that's cool because like I'm in recovery, but people don't have to. And I always tell people some type of recovery stuff's not for everybody. Other people can just handle it mentally. I wasn't. I needed a whole army to get me on this track right here, but it takes what it takes for certain people.
Absolutely.
Let's get into a lot more of the benefits and the positive mental stuff and like how much stuff you can overcome mentally when you are sober and you have no off days from being the other person and you're just 24/7 sober and on your stuff. How great is that?
I mean, it's amazing. Yeah, I mean, as you know, it's
like
amazing.
Human,
it's
right?
just nothing but, like I said, you just rack up nothing but wins. Every day is a win. Every opportunity is a win. So many doors are going to open up for yourself that weren't there previously. Like, it's just, you're much more productive. Not only, as myself as a husband and as a stepdad, like, productive at work with my team and the performance of my team, my personal performance, achieving what I want to do physically and mentally. Like, it's just overall quality of life is just so much better. There's another side of life out there waiting on you. You just gotta take that jump. You gotta take that first step.
And I always say too, it's like you go from being like, when I was drinking and using, I was like scared to wake up the next day to being like, I can't wait to wake up for tomorrow.
Right, can't wait.
See what's
Cannot wait.
So you're scared of the future, and instead of that, you're like, literally, I can't wait to go to bed so I can wake up and see what's going to happen tomorrow.
I mean, you were there. June or July 30th would have been your funeral.
Yeah.
And like, my funeral June 29th, could have been my funeral if I would have stayed on that same track or whatever,
For sure.
that I was on. because it's not good for us as human, drugs or alcohol. It's not good for us mentally and physically. And, we're going to be dead a long time. We're going to be dead a super, super long time, longer than we're alive. So why not take advantage and be that best version of yourself each and every single day?
For sure.
Why not take advantage of each day? Why not just focus on that day and worry about winning that day? Tomorrow's going to come, or tomorrow may not come.
Yeah.
But if today's my last day, I'm pretty damn happy with it.
And if you just win the battles today, you'll win your battles every day.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
and
it.
we all can.
That's it.
Oh, I love that.
That's it. That's it.
So what else is new for you? What do you got going on nowadays?
Man, so a little bit more
any
about
projects
myself.
coming up for? Yeah.
Well, I'm a bow hunter.
Okay.
So I don't know if you knew that or
No,
not.
not at all.
I'm a big hunter. So my dad got me into hunting.
Okay.
Back in like 2016, 2017. And he took me on my first turkey hunt.
Okay.
And I was successful on the turkey hunt. And then that next year, went out with a buddy, deer hunting. Never deer hunted before. Went out with him. I shot a buck at like 100 yards with a rifle, and it was cool. But it was a bad shot. Had to end up getting like a follow-up shot on the deer. He like tracked this thing for like 6-8 hours in the middle of November. It was freezing cold. Like it just wasn't like a cool experience. And obviously, you can use a bow. So I went out later on that year. I bought a bow. That next year, I was sitting in a ground blind on a lease that I have back in Kentucky, and I killed a buck with a bow at 12 yards and just hooked.
Really?
After that, like I'll never pick up a rifle to shoot another animal. Like I only use use my bow. Yeah,
Okay.
100%.
Dude, that's crazy. I can't hunt. Like
Yeah,
literally can't do it,
yeah.
bro.
But it's a good time to get away and like sit there with your thoughts, and really do some self-reflection on where I've come from and moving forward. Just I kind of find like the meditation out of hunting, sitting in a deer stand.
Yeah.
Or
Do you meditate daily or anything or no?
I try to. It's difficult.
Yeah, for sure.
But again, I try to, and I'm conscious about it. It's just again something else that I'm working on to try to get better at each and every single day. So.
Same. And I use my ADD and ADHD for an excuse. Like I have that so bad I can't do it or something like that. But we all can. Like I said, I'll grow up one day and finish.
Meditated
doing it,
earlier today at Cathedral Rock in Sedona, and
Really?
After opening up my eyes, I got 2 hummingbirds. I had one come within like a foot of me, like wild.
Really?
Don't know the meaning behind it, but I know there's some sort of meaning behind it.
Yeah, there probably is some type of meaning behind it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So, but yeah, big bow hunter. So looking to get some pretty cool hunts, probably going next year.
Okay.
Dream hunt is to hunt some elk out west, probably up in Utah or Colorado or somewhere.
What keeps you going then? Like what kind of goals do you have for your future?
Man, everything.
Okay.
Are
Are you a guy that like writes a goal list out or anything?
Yeah, I have my goals written. So I have my goals written out on my bathroom mirror.
Okay, there you go.
And I did that actually. I started that up last year with the process of Elite Athlete. I had Elite Athlete written up there on my bathroom mirror, so I looked at it every single day. I have my goals written up on my bathroom mirror now, so I look at them every single day. And,
Wow.
To help me just keep on progressing and moving forward.
How many? Because they only have what I think 22 or something.
I think we're
for guys.
I think we're at 19 or 20 or 21, something like that right
Wow.
now. So, yeah,
One out of every other state.
yeah.
That's pretty rare.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, as far as goals for myself moving forward, it's just working on being that better version of myself every single day. There's things that out there that I'm going to do, I'm going to accomplish, but again, it's just I like to focus down on that micro level of just focusing on that day because that's all I really have, and just making sure I'm taking the steps that day to move me forward for later on down the road.
Do you ever struggle with the sobriety thing?
Not anymore.
Not at all, huh?
Not anymore. I still have my bourbon collection sitting in the family room.
Really?
Yeah, I mean in Kentucky, that's what we're known
Would
for.
you
is-
say
is
that's like the
bourbon.
toughest thing at first? I always say when people are quitting drinking is it can be kind of easy at first, but then once you deal with some struggles, you have some bad stuff happen. It's like not just saying fuck it, I want to go drink to those
Right,
times.
right.
But then once you learn how to handle stuff like that, you're more well equipped to handle bad stuff that's thrown at your way,
Yeah.
and you know a routine and you have a plan for
Yeah.
how to do it, right?
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
It's so easy to
Nail on
figure
the
out
head
too.
right there. Nail on the head right there. It really is. So I saw my bourbon collection is still sitting in the family room, and I look at it every single day, and I love it that it doesn't have any power over me anymore.
Yeah,
It
that's right.
doesn't have any power over me at one bit at all. And it's like I look at it and I laugh at it. I'm like, I'm stronger than that. So,
There we go.
It's
That's cool.
Yeah.
Let everybody know one more good thing about you too that I feel like I don't know and they don't know too, because I don't know much about you other than what we just talked about right now. But I want to hear some other good stuff about you too.
Man, one more good thing about myself.
Unless the wife's got some dirt on you
I
too,
don't
that she can
know.
tell
What
something
is-
about you too. Which, yeah, she's like, I'm listening now to myself.
One more good
You can even
thing
just say
about
some cool plan you
myself.
got for the future with the wife or something.
Man, I don't know. I mean, she got asked a pretty crazy question the other day as far as like her what was it, your goals or your purpose? What are your dreams? Ashton asked you. Yeah, and it was she's living her dream right now through watching me go after what I want to go after, and watching me be successful and going after my definition of success. And that really makes me proud as a husband that I've been able to provide for her and have her live out her dream of her watching me be successful. And
That's a good partner you got too, and that's her dream.
yeah, it's really cool. And she helped tremendously through the whole entire process. That I wouldn't be here physically without her. She made this 6-pack of abs that I had. I did the work as far
I
as
thought
going
it
to
was
the
like an
gym.
8-pack or something. I lost count after 5. I don't even know. I thought I was halfway there.
But no, just helping me out with the mindset piece of everything has just been a huge help. And I want to say thank you to you, babe. I really appreciate you. So.
Absolutely. There we go. Well, I'm super, super glad that we got to do this. I'm even more happy I got to meet you in Andy Frisella's pool, and just what a cool scenario this is.
Yeah, that was a surreal moment right there.
Yeah.
Because we were just hanging out in the pool and just randomly stuck up a conversation.
And you know what's funny is that day in Andy's pool, you guys are the only 2 people that I talked to that I didn't know already. Everybody else, like I know Ian and all them, and I was talking with Ian. Everybody else, my buddies, like you guys are the only other people that I went up and talked to that I didn't know. Like I had a full-on conversation on for a while, so it was really cool. So
it was awesome.
I'm glad we met. It's crazy you guys are already here in Arizona now, so we will have to hear something back from you. Let everybody know again where to reach you on Instagram and stuff for people that got in late.
Yeah, so
and thank you guys, and thank you again, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I really do. I really do appreciate this opportunity. So
I like to get all the different stories because a lot of people, for the most part, if you listen to my story, you know about the prison thing, but there's some people that I don't get through to that. So, and I like the people that, there's a lot of people that that I said that aren't addicts that are still trying to figure out how to, not drink so much or whatever. So I think you're going to help a lot of people with that.
It doesn't just have to be with alcohol either. It could be anything, pornography, just bad habit. It doesn't matter. Anything negative, anything bad. Like, it doesn't have to be alcohol or drugs in particular. Like you can give up those bad habits. So
cool. So remember Dale Beatty again. Beatty.
Beatty is Mr. Dale Beatty on Instagram, Mr. Dale Beatty on TikTok, and then Dale Beatty Outdoors on YouTube.
There we go. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Roll Call with Chappy, and we are out now. I got the buffest dude on my podcast. Yeah, dude. You're not supposed to be bigger than me on my own show, dude.
Let's go.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and leave us some feedback. We would love to know what you think. You can find everything discussed in this episode and more in our show notes below or petermeyerhoff.com. I am Peter Meyerhoff, and you've been listening to the Roll Call with Chappy podcast.